I think everybody would agree that LeBron James' son does not belong in the NBA at this point. And so this was offensive to LeBron James. He's like, my son belong here because LeBron said his statement was his son is better than half the NBA players in the league. He said that his son ain't better than me. I got one hand. His son is only good in the G League. Once he walks out on a real NBA court, he looks like a child out there. He doesn't look like an NBA player, and a lot of people agree with that. And then he was last but not least. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. LeBron James' son was drafted at 55 in the league, right? What about all those other players that went before him from 1 to 55? Because nobody's talking about them right now. Every time they talk about, only thing they talk about is LeBron James' son when he comes on the court. There's over 54 other players who came in number 1, who came in number 2, who came in number 3, and y'all ain't heard nothing about them. Only thing y'all hear about is the person who came 55, and that's Bronny James. I leave it at that. You may continue.
Nepotism happens in every job, every career, every business or something. Nepotism happens. So there's nothing wrong with LeBron giving his son a job. And for him being good enough or not, that's still to be, that'll work itself out. I think I don't know if he's good enough to be in the NBA, but hell, he is in the NBA. So for LeBron to put his son in that position, it's the first time a father-son ever played together, so they made history. And I love that fact. So give a fuck about what nobody else say. If I had a son, I don't give a damn how good he was. I'd put him up there too. If he wasn't doing but being a damn towel boy, I'd make sure he get a job. So I'm saying, and LeBron called himself talking about the GOAT. The king is always better than the GOAT. I differ. I beg to differ on that. I beg to differ. The GOAT gives milk, so king can't give milk.
I actually agree with you with regard to the nepotism. I think nepotism gets a bad rap. Like, since when is it a bad thing for a father to do well and pass some of those good tidings down to the son? I don't understand it, but I understand how other people who don't have that opportunity could be upset with it. At the same time, it doesn't mean that if your son is unqualified, that they should take the role of somebody who is, right? Like, it's one thing for LeBron to say, look, I want my son to be in the NBA somehow. Maybe he can be in the locker room soaking up energy. Maybe he can be, I don't know, some sort of, I don't think they have internships at the NBA, but it's another thing for him to be like, I want him to be the general manager of the Lakers. Why can't he be? Because he's not qualified. Same thing for him when it comes to being on the National Basketball Association actual starting team for the Lakers. And I think that's what got folks hot. And Stephen A. Smith was like, no, bro, you shouldn't have done that like that to your son. Now he's got to deal with all this criticism because you put him on blast and made him show the world that he wasn't qualified when you could have just let him do his thing. Kind of like the way.
Well, what about the tall boy that they traded to Dallas? What's his name? Anthony Davis. How good was he? Damn it! And they gave him a lot of money. He wasn't good enough to be kept. So why can't LeBron get a Bronny get a job?
You're talking about
because when Davis came out of college, he was everybody's first pick. Like, I mean, remember the unibrow? Like nobody did not want Anthony. He was, and we was all talking about like, yo, how you gonna pick a guy who got 3 eyebrows? And she remember how it was a big deal. And then he came through and he killed it. So it's not like he was ushered in by his relatives. He proved his way through college and then was drafted and then landed a spot. Ended up with LeBron. And now he's, dealing with whatever repercussions he's got to deal with in Dallas. But different story. We don't have that.
I don't give a damn. Me and my son played together in the NBA. We the first to do it. I don't give a damn if he ain't good enough to tie his shoes. I wouldn't give. If he sit on the bench barefooted, I wouldn't give a damn.
Is this the right way?
We played together in the NBA.
Is this the right way? Is this
nobody's saying it's the right way? It's their way because it's been going on for as long as we can remember. Because presidents like George Bush and all of them, they made their sons presidents. That's exactly what happened.
Look at this. LeBron is a father. LeBron is a father. So any father was standing up for their child. I have no problem with LeBron doing that either. Just keep my son name out your hair, your hairless.
Let me ask you a question there, Bo P. If you had a restaurant, right, And it was, successful restaurant doing all types of money. You making crazy money, and you got that one son. You want him to run the restaurant, but if your son come in there, he's qualified. He fucking the restaurant up. What do? You still happy, or you gonna get rid of your son?
No, you take him off cooking and make him a goddamn trash man. That's all you do.
No, but you want him to run the business. You want him to run the business.
You don't let him be a manager. You tell you manage the trash now. You give him
Well,
another
then
role.
you need to send Bronny to the back and tell him clean up because he doesn't belong on the court. That's what we're saying.
All NBA teams have 15 players on their team, right? How many of them
Right.
15 play every game? Some of them are practice squad boys. So why can't Bronny be a practice squad player? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what
Some of the
Stephen
boys
A.
never hit the
said.
floor.
That's
Some
what
of them
Stephen
never
A.
hit the
said
floor.
and got almost slapped
Some
for
of them never hit
saying
the
that.
floor. Some of them never hit the floor. Out of them 15, they want to play about 9 or 10 at the most, maybe 12 at the most. So
LeBron don't
3 of them
play.
players never
Bronny
play.
don't play it already. He don't play most of them games. I mean, he don't play somewhat in the game, but he
Right.
ain't doing shit.
Well, it's 3 more on the bench ain't doing shit either, so.
Well, that's because they hurt.
Hey, LeBron, this ain't what the fuck you advertised. You told us that your son was better than half the niggas in the league. You told us, you tweeted out that you was looking at the fucking games and you was laughing at the performance of niggas with guaranteed contracts because your
Guaranteed.
son, who was Mr. One and Done at USC, where he wasn't even on one of the top 5 players on his college team, was better than these niggas with guaranteed contracts playing in the NBA. And then you somehow used your fucking political capital and your tenure and your status to garner your son a 55th round pick, which was the Lakers' last pick in the NBA draft. And yet, you were able to garner him $7.8 million for a two-way contract. Let me put that in the proper parameters. No other G League player is making that kind of motherfucking money. Matt McClung is the most popular G League player because he's the what, gentlemen? 3-time NBA slam dunk all-star champion. And this motherfucker not making $7.8 million a year. But you got that type of money for your son, who is not even averaging comparative numbers in the G League to be able to play full-time minutes in the big boy league. And you told us that your son was better than half the niggas in the big boy league.
Well, that boy daddy, man, the white boy, the slam dunk competition boy daddy, he's a plumber. He ain't got no damn right to say nothing. But LeBron James done made the NBA so much money. He done made the NBA so much money, he can't call a shot like that. How much money has he made the NBA? You gonna tell him his son can't play?
That ain't got nothing to do
Come
with what
on,
I'm
man.
talking about, bro.
Look at politicians.
I'm talking about the perch. I'm talking about the perch that Stephen A was standing on when he said, and as he has said all season long, hey man, this young nigga was not ready to be in the NBA. This young nigga could have stood to use another 2 or 3 years playing in college before being drafted, because everybody is saying, give him time. Give him time. Oh, you mean the time he could have spent in college bettering his fucking game? No, his daddy said he was good enough and grown enough to be a man out here, which means he has to now be susceptible to the same criticism that every other fucking player in the NBA is susceptible to.